Other initiatives of the CCSI that benefited from CIP interns are the development of a parenting manual, the regional radio project, STEPS, as well as research in aspects of parenting and child development.
Some years ago, when the CIP was launched, the Topo Foundation was one of the organizations that were involved in the inception. And we had 2 or 3 sets of interns. They were dynamic young people. Some of them were also very peppy young people. So, you attempted from time to time to establish some regulations which they found a little bothersome, but in the long run it worked out very well. They learned the interdisciplinary connections. They were also able to look at themselves in the context as interns, what they could contribute, and some of them were quite remarkable in that context. The interns themselves, the CIP programs, and the institutions that were involved are all very positive beneficiaries from this exercise.
The CIP really tries to match the specialty of the intern with the needs of the project. So for instance, with Pathways to Parenting, we had to pilot test, we had to monitor writers, we had to design and layout. And so we identified mostly media interns, but we also had social work, community development interns who worked with us there. When we had the community radio program, the regional radio project, those were primarily media interns with a radio specialty who were focused in the specific countries, working with the communities to develop radio programs on parenting and early childhood development. So it was very targeted and very specific.
There was a young lady who was here from Jamaica, Kendall intern. She as an intern was really, really helpful. We had a very good relationship with her, and she helped us along the way. And she helped us to develop project proposals, and she was into communication and all that kind of stuff. So we really learned a lot from her.
I think that students also should look at this as not just in the moment, but this might end up being a future job. This might make you help you make up your mind as to where you really want to go or where you want to fit into, what organization you can fit into. As well as it can also make you realize that this is not what you want to do, after you've had the experience. So this experience really gives the students the opportunity to examine where they want to be. And of course, I think it's important for them to have the fullness of the experience, which means experiencing the place, the environment, the people, the culture, everything.
It was a good experience. I hope it was a good experience for the intern. I think it was. She certainly was very positive about it. She worked with us on a project on early childhood development in Trinidad and in Dominica. And this meant going out to 2 communities in each country and actually doing some interviews, but primarily it was a qualitative project, which meant that she had to spend quite some time observing parent-child interactions in houses, in yards, in the street, in the shops, in the churches, in the clinics, and so forth. So there was a lot of participant observation, which essentially is much more testing than just going out with a questionnaire and asking the questions that are there. And she did extremely well.
The Caribbean internship program is not simply about students who spend 3 months or 6 months in the field and leave, but it represents young people who have fostered relationships with those that they work with in the communities. They've fostered meaningful relationships with young children, with parents, with members in the community, and have left a lasting impression on those that they have interfaced with.